everybody. We're coming to you from McRae Arena this afternoon to preview the upcoming OVC tournament. EKU will be the number 3 seed. They'll take on Austin Peay Thursday night at 9:30. And with us is the man, Coach A.W. Hamilton. Thanks for being here, man.
Well, thanks for doing this. It's good to be back in person with you. This is fun.
Yes, it is. Let me talk up here so I'm sure people can hear us with these masks on.
Yeah.
We are trying to keep everybody safe. We don't want anybody to get sick before we go to the tournament, obviously. I mean, what you guys have gone through, that's the last thing in the world we need is another obstacle for you guys to overcome. But just kind of, if you can put into words kind of what you've gone through this season. I mean, it's unbelievable. You've been in COVID protocol. You had a 2-week road trip, 7 games in 14 days, over 3 states, winter storms. I mean, it's been crazy.
Nathan, everything. I mean, anything that could happen to a team, it's happened to us, it feels like. I mean, we've done all this, and sometimes we lose sight of this. We haven't even had Jamar Brown all year, who's one of the best guards in the OVC. So I'm really proud of our group. We've been able to face adversity, overcome the adversity, and continue to push on. And it's taken everybody. You know, you talk about our players, you talk about our coaches, our athletic trainer, Jeff Carrico, our strength coach, John Mike, our bus driver, Steve, our athletic department, the leadership from Matt Rome down has been incredible. So it's been a special ride for us, and I'm excited because the kids got to have a season, and we got our 27 games in, and we go 21-6, and you know, I know before the season started, everybody was like, you know, we'd be lucky to play 12, 13 games, and for these kids to do the right things on and off the floor, to put themselves in position to play these games, I'm really proud of our group.
Yeah, and through it all, at 21-6, like you said, 15 OVC wins is the most in school history, 8 OVC road wins is the most in school history. That's only the 11th time in school history you've won 20 games, so we kind of dubbed them the record breakers.
Yeah, that was a great headline. I mean, great headline, because this team, every time I turned around, they were breaking some sort of record. And you look at us, we have the best non-conference winning percentage in 72 years. Then we get off to the best OVC start in 56 years, then the best overall start in 74 years, and it was a fun ride. And you know, but this is what I told the team after the game. Now this is our new season begins. We're 0-0 now, and we have a huge opportunity to go to Evansville. We put ourselves in position to advance in this tournament, and we're excited about the opportunity to play. We play a great team first round. You know, Austin Peay, they were picked to win our league, and they're like everybody. They've just faced a lot of adversity, and they've played without Jordan Adams a lot of times this year, but they got a great coach. They got a winning program, and they got Terry Taylor. So they can beat anybody. They can beat anybody in the country, so it'll be a huge challenge for us.
Yeah, and they beat you right here on this court last month.
They did, and they didn't just beat us. Yeah. They beat us, yeah. And they really played well that night and played with a lot of confidence. So it'll be a tough challenge for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough road up there. I mean, the potential matchups are obviously Austin Peay, then Murray, and then Belmont. Or not, Moorhead, then Belmont. Moorhead, then Belmont. So that's whoever wins 3 games up there is going to earn it.
Yeah, no question. I mean, if you look at the OVC, we got 3 teams with 20 wins. I think there's only 6 or 7 teams in the country with 20 wins. So it says a lot about this league and how competitive it's been this year.
Yeah, you guys got to the semifinals last year before you lost to Belmont, but I think one of the biggest differences between that team and this team is obviously the 2 freshman guards you guys have brought in, and Wendell Green Jr. and Kurt Lewis, and those guys have been tremendous.
They have. I mean, Wendell Green has been sensational this season. I mean, he's, you know, in OVC play, he's one of the on the top of the league in scoring, and one of the top assist leaders in our league. Then you look at Kurt Lewis, who I'm really proud of Kurt Lewis, because going into conference play, Nathan, he was 4 for 20 from the 3-point line. And now you look at him, he's shooting about 35%, and he hit every big shot for us in conference play. You think about the JSU game here, when we go to overtime, he hit 2 big threes in that game, and he's getting better every time he hits the court. I mean, I know I told you that when we signed him. I think he's the most underrated player out of the city of Louisville in the last decade, and I'm proven to be right on that, I think.
But I guess the great thing about this team, and what makes this team special, is that those guys they're superstars, but there's not really any superstars on this team. It's a very unselfish group. Every time you talk to the media after games and stuff, you talk about the closeness of this group, how the unselfishness of this group, and how they just want to win. They want to get this thing done and bring a championship back, and they don't really care about individual accolades.
Yeah, and that's what it is, Nathan. The best thing about this group is our chemistry. I mean, these guys love each other, and you even think about Jamar Brown. when he's not playing, he's the biggest cheerleader on the bench. But these guys, they've become best friends and brothers, and they love putting the jersey on. They love representing the university, and they love to compete. So, we got a special group of guys, and the thing that's exciting, Nathan, is these guys are going to be around for a while.
That's true. We do have a bunch of, like you said, though, a bunch of special guys on this team. I mean, Michael Moreno is only a sophomore, and he's like the silent assassin to me. Like you don't really, during the game, he doesn't really stand out. Then you look at the end of the game in the box score, and he's got 17 points and 8 rebounds and 3 assists, and it's just he just kind of quietly does his thing. Yeah,
that's who Michael's always been. I mean, fans love Michael Moreno, especially our fans, because we got smart fans, and they love the game and they know the game. He does so many winning plays that don't show up on the box score. He may end up with 12 points, 7 rebounds, 4 or 5 assists, but he does so many things inside the game that don't show up on the stat sheet. And he's an incredible player. But I'm so proud of how he shot the ball this year. He's one of the top 3-point shooters in the country. And, when we recruited Michael, Coach Hicks and I would always talk about Michael, that he's got a chance to be a big-time shooter at this level, because he's got a great release, he's got great elevation on the shot. I mean, he's a special shooter. He'll go down as one of the best 3-point shooters at Eastern Kentucky.
Obviously, the young man from up in Lexington, Trey King, is definitely a candidate for OVC Player of the Year. I know, obviously, at times he's battled foul trouble during some games, but he's a double-double machine.
Yeah, and I can't say enough about Trey King. I mean, he's a phenomenal young man. He really is. He is the definition of an everyday guy. You know exactly what you're going to get every single day from Trey King, whether it's in the classroom, on the court, off the floor. Proud of the season he's had. I'm proud of how he's developed his game too. Now he's able to step outside and make 3-point shots, and really proud of him. He's had a couple bumps in the road, but that was part of what this season was going to present, and he's overcome that, and he's playing well now.
Yeah, and you're talking about unselfishness. I mean, I think of Cooper Robb, because the kid really hasn't shot the ball well. I mean, that's not a secret. You can look at the stats and see that. But I mean, just balling on defense, getting after it, and doing everything else. And he's starting to come around. He hit the 3 threes the other night.
Yeah, he is. Cooper Robb he may not win Defensive Player of the Year in the league, but in my mind, he's right there. I mean, he can really guard. He's so competitive on the defensive end, and I love his confidence on the offensive end. When he was really struggling shooting early on in the year, we just kept telling him, just keep shooting. And then you think about some games this year, he's made some big shots for us.
Xavier game, yeah.
The Xavier game, Tennessee Tech at home, he hit 2 big threes late that kind of opened up the game for us. So really proud of Cooper. He's a great kid.
Okay. Well, Austin Peay, like we said, they did split the 2 regular season games. Eastern won down in Clarksville 80-75, and then they came up here and won 94-79. What's the key to winning on Thursday? Obviously, I don't know if anybody can shut down Terry Taylor, but obviously you have to try to find a way to contain him, and he's got a good caster on him too, though.
Yeah, it's really hard to shut Terry Taylor down. We just got to control him some, try to keep him off the offensive rebound, and what he does is he gets 5 offensive rebounds a game. That's incredible. That's an incredible stat. He's one of the top offensive rebounders in the country. So we got to do a good job to limit him to just 1 shot. And then last time we played him, we were terrible in our transition defense. So we got to improve in those areas.
Okay, well, folks, thank you so much for taking the time today. It's good to see you in person, not on a computer screen via Zoom. But we'll be in Evansville there with you, so we'll be there Thursday night, hopefully Friday and Saturday. And so the semifinals will be Friday night, and the championship game would be 8 o'clock on Saturday.
Thank you.
So, appreciate you taking the time. Good luck to you, and we'll see you up there.
Thank you so much, Nathan.
We'll be right back with Michael Moreno. All right, well, we're back here at McBrayer Arena with Michael Moreno. Mike, I appreciate you taking the time today.
Thanks for having me.
It's good to see you in person on a Zoom call.
Right.
But obviously Thursday night you open up the OVC tournament play in Evansville against Austin Peay. It's a team you guys played twice this year. You split with the home team lost both games. So talk about that matchup.
They're a pretty solid team. They had Player of the Year in Terry Taylor preseason. They have good guard play. They shot it really well here, and as we did at their place. I think it's a good matchup for us early on, because it's not like we had a lot of success with this team in the past 2 years, but this year we've showed ourselves we can beat them, and obviously we want to make a statement early on in the OVC tournament.
Yeah, this is obviously, to win this thing, it's not an easy path. I mean, it's potentially Austin P and potentially Moorhead and then Belmont. So it's whoever wins this thing is going to earn it.
Yes, absolutely. I think pretty much every path to the tournament or to the tournament championship is tough this year because I feel like we have a pretty, at least 1 through 6, every team competed, and I'm pretty sure most of those teams beat each other. So I feel like it's going to be competitive on both sides of the bracket, and we're going to be able to say we definitely earned our way if we win.
Yeah. Well, we were talking with Coach there a minute ago about all the things you guys have gone through, and walk me through that 2-week, 7-game, 3-state road trip you guys went through. I mean, you ran into snowstorms during that. I mean, you had to play twice against the same opponent in 3 days in the same building. I mean, a whole bunch of really crazy things happened. Just how do you encapsulate that whole experience?
I mean, it was definitely a lot. I don't think many of us have been on the road for that long, and especially coming off the pause. The week before we left for that trip, we went to Jacksonville, Alabama, and played Jacksonville State in overtime. Then came back, had Austin P and Murray, and we were still trying to get our legs back under us because a lot of our guys had to sit out through that pause, and it's tough to play some of the better teams in the conference and then gear up and get ready to go on the road. Practice time was limited. We're sleeping in different beds quite often. In hotel beds, that can be comfortable, but it's nothing like your own bed. So I felt like it was definitely a learning experience for everybody, just to be able to see what it's like to travel all the time and play, sort of like an impromptu NBA schedule. And I think, we came out of it as successful as we thought we could. We dropped a couple games, but overall, I think it was a good test for us mentally and physically, and it helped us gear up for this postseason play.
Hotel beds aren't meant for guys as tall as you.
Right.
Was there one moment that kind of stuck out to you there, though, on that trip, or maybe a funny moment, or anything you remember the most about all that?
Just making memories with the guys. The night before the Tennessee Tech game at the hotel in Cookeville, the power went out. So in the middle of the night, the heat, it was really hot in the hotel, and all the guys walking down the hallway because they saw the power went out, and it was fun. But just the road wins, trying different foods in different places, just simple stuff like that is stuff I remember most.
Yeah, and you came out of that trip with 5 wins out of 7 games, and that really kind of cemented yourself in the third spot here, and came back and get a couple of nice wins here this weekend, including over Belmont. Which, I mean, everybody knows they didn't have one of their top players, but still, obviously it's a great win for the program and a great win just for you guys to prove yourself that you could beat that top tier team.
Teams have been different every single day we played them. Whether they're coming out hot like SEMO did on that Saturday afternoon, or Belmont with their missing Muzinski. Just through this pandemic, you're not sure what you're going to get every night, so you got to come ready to play regardless if you're playing a full Belmont team or a full Tennessee State team. I mean, we played 2 ends of the spectrum, and they both gave us tough games. So you never know what you're going to get, and I think we've done well to play through a lot of the stuff that we've had to face this year. 21 wins is a lot of wins, and especially to do it through a pandemic.
Yeah. You guys made it to the semifinals of the OVC tournament last year before losing to Belmont, and like I was saying with Coach earlier, I think obviously the biggest difference between that team and this team is the 2 freshman guards you guys have brought in, Kurt Lewis and Wendell Green, and those guys are just tremendous.
Superstars. They don't play like freshmen. They're very confident. They feel like they've been here a while. You can see it translate early on. They were able to pick up on how the college game is different from the high school game very quickly, and they've asserted themselves as 2 of the top freshmen in the league. And I think we're very fortunate to have them on our team because it's a lot harder, in practice to guard players like that. We get better every day, but having them on your team every night helps a lot, no matter who you are. Because on some teams you have to play your best every single day to win the game, and having players like that, not everybody has to play their best all the time. You give your best effort no matter what, but Sunday it's just not your day, and they make it easier for everybody else, being the stars that they are.
Yeah. Well, you've emerged as one of the top 3-point shooters not only in the league but in the country. You've always been a good shooter, but kind of what's been able for you to elevate your game to the next level this year?
I think picking and choosing the right time to take shots. There's a difference between taking good shots and taking the right shots, and I feel like I've done a better job of my shot selection. And obviously just off-season work. I spent a lot of time trying to improve my catch and shoot shooting and my perimeter shooting to be able to space the floor for our guards to drive, and then be able to give Trey an opportunity to play one-on-one down there, and they can't help off. So, I figured that's where I'm going to make my impact on the team is, being a good rebounder, stretching the floor, shooting the 3, and hopefully, but draws enough attention, away from my teammates. So that's kind of where I wanted to cement myself.
The third go around with P, and if I from just a perspective of a fan and observer, it seemed like the last game when they were here, that game there was a lot of talking and there was a lot of yapping. And is there a little animosity between these two teams? A friendly animosity, I guess.
A bit. It's like that's competitive in this league, and I think with P, having tremendous talents on their team, and Jordan Adams, Terry Taylor, Mike Peake, Hayes, all those guys are tremendous players. But I feel like with the stakes are raised, as obviously it's going to get a bit, it's going to be very hard fought to win a game on either side. So I think either way we're going to have some type of animosity. But I think it helped that we split this year, so there's no surefire standout team in this battle, which is something that I really like. You have to compete regardless because it's the OVC tournament. But we've had struggles and successes with this team, so I think it'll be good for us.
I guess lastly, it's the last year in the OVC, and I'm sure you guys would like to take that trophy with you as you go out to leave to go to the Atlantic Sun.
So it would be amazing to achieve something. That was our goal going into the season, is to try to walk out here with a conference championship. And then we got the news we were moving to the ASUN, so obviously it'd be kind of like a last dance, as you say, and I think it would be awesome for us to do that, especially for the fans, for our program. It would take it to a new level. And leaving the OVC, it's a rich history in OVC, and we've been, an original member for a very long time. So I think we could use that as like a stepping stone and kind of a statement to go into the ASUN.
Well, best of luck to you. We'll see you up there Thursday.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody.